Hey, hey, hey!
Hello.
Welcome to the
Kingsmith Podcast.
Kingsmith Podcast. I don't know. Who are the hosts? Me?
Well,
Am I doing this? Are you doing this?
I don't know.
Are you doing this? They're doing this.
Yep, it's your turn. In the comments, write down what you think our names would be.
Yeah, actually, we're not going to give you our names, even though they just flashed it on the screen. We're
Yes.
not going to actually give them to you. You actually have to guess what our names are. Don't cheat.
Yes.
Don't scroll back. You cannot
You're-
cheat. Okay.
You cannot cheat. No.
If you cheat, you're a cheater. Nobody likes a cheater.
Right.
That's got more than one application, Zach.
Yes, I know, Nathan. Well, we'll discuss that another time.
Okay. I mean, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me either.
Okay.
All right.
That's
What
a
are we talking-
great intro.
What are we
that
talking
might
about?
have been the
String
best
bean?
intro.
Yes.
String bean? No, I'm not a string bean. I'm like the pea inside the bean. We were talking about music.
Yep.
Because like the last time we talked about the Michael Tate stuff. It was pretty heavy and whatnot.
Right.
But
And then we went after Snow White because it was a badly bad movie.
it was horrible. But since we were talking about media, we were like, well, why don't we just cover like music broadly?
Broadly.
And so we are.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yep.
so, music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like music.
We do like music.
Music's a good thing.
Nathan.
We prepared very hard for this podcast.
Oh,
What?
I hope I just said your name. So
No. Well, actually, that's not my real name. Actually,
all right.
no. Guess my real name. Yeah, you have to. It's really hard. You won't get it.
Dude, most of the people who subscribe to our channel know us personally, so this is gonna be.
You're not supposed to remind them, though.
By the way, we are still since the last time we talked about this, we are still 27 subscribers away from 100
Yeah,
subscribers.
dude. So what are you doing?
Subscribe.
Sub. Hit the button.
Hit the
Just
button.
stop what you're doing with your life.
Click the bell.
Hit the buttons.
You see the thing that goes like this. Hit that too.
Yeah. There's like 3 buttons in a row. You click 2 of them. There's one you don't click. The one that's like this, don't click that one. But the other 2, click them.
And then you get up off your bed and go to your roommate's room and say, hey, roomie, check out this cool podcast I found.
Yeah,
And just shove it in their face.
exactly. And then
And
you
then-
have at least 2 more subscribers.
Yep.
It's a mutually benefiting ratio.
Yes.
It benefits you more to subscribe to us
Yes.
because you get to
So-
listen to us.
Yes.
Wait a minute. No, it's just mutually beneficial. We'll just stick it to that.
Anyway. Yeah. So now that rambling mess is done,
That's
Uh,
it's been 3.5 minutes worth of subscribe.
subscribe. Nathan,
Yeah.
I don't care that I said your real name. What is your favorite genre of music?
Favorite?
Excluding worship music, like
Oh,
that's-
excluding okay,
yeah,
all the
excluding
worship
worship.
variants. Okay,
excluding worship music, because that's kind of a
that's a gibby.
that's a
Um,
freebie.
Okay,
So it's a favorite your favorite type of secular music. I should say,
I guess
Even though I can't English.
In general, it would have to be like southern rock country.
I'm just plain old country music.
I like plain old country music, but I like a little bit of punch.
Yeah,
And sometimes I find that regular country doesn't have the punch.
yes it does. You just don't like it.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna set you off right now. Steel guitar is overrated.
Screw you.
It's not bad.
Screw
It's
you.
overrated.
No, screw you.
It's overrated.
No, it's not. Steel guitar is
All
awesome.
of the '90s, every single
That's
country song.
like the best no, screw you.
It was copy and paste
We are going to have to talk
every
about.
single song.
We are going to have to talk about this.
No,
later.
no, we're hashing this out now.
No, it's not.
Yeah, absolutely.
you.
No, I don't care.
No.
It's overrated.
Wow.
Okay.
Real debate after, we
I'm
had
just saying though. Am I okay?
No, it's not.
Every
You're saying it's
single
overrated.
song.
That means it's overused, not overrated.
Do you agree that it's overused?
No.
You brought this up.
No. You're like, it's overrated. No. You're not saying it's overrated. You're saying it's overused. So get your terms right.
Well,
Boy.
but I'm
Get
also,
your
I'm
terms
saying
right.
Both. I'm saying both. I mean both. It's overused, and therefore it becomes overrated because it's overused. It's like Oceans. Nobody listens to that song anymore. And the reason why is because it was overplayed. It wasn't because of the theology in the song.
Oh, the theology wasn't.
Well, okay, it was like, but it was a topical type song,
You're
so I'll
right.
give it to him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna.
And plus, Brooke Legerwood's also written a bunch of other bangers outside of that have been
Right.
really good too.
Yeah,
But still, I'm just saying.
okay. So you don't like the steel guitar.
I
I do.
didn't say that. I
No,
said it was
you-
overused
You
and overrated.
don't like the steel guitar.
I like the steel guitar. I just don't like how it's been used.
Okay. Then say that instead of, being
I did. That was word for word. Word for word what came out of my mouth was that it is overrated and overused. That is the order that I said it, and then you corrected me, and I fixed it and said overused, and then became overrated. That is exactly what happened. You could tell I'm an older brother.
And you can tell this is the first time I'm getting to be an older brother and actually egging him on.
Wait a second. Are you egging me on for
Yes.
views?
Maybe.
Am I playing up to it?
Probably.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Is it working?
Absolutely not.
Is it working? Absolutely not.
Okay. So now that what is your least favorite type of music then?
Oh, I've got. Okay. There's gonna be some people shouting at me, but all the stuff that Jack Antonoff is doing right now this year,
Right.
awful.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he's worked with some big names.
Right.
He had a huge album, I think actually two, with Taylor Swift. Respect. Dude knows how to produce. But my goodness, dude. All the weird Sabrina Carpenter stuff,
Well,
all the weird other stuff, like that freaking super girly high pink pop that he's doing. And it's not just him, it's a lot of others. He's just the first one that came to mind. And I don't even listen to these artists.
right.
There might be one song by Sabrina Carpenter that I actually know.
Right.
But I'm on TikTok, so you hear bits and pieces here and there all
Right.
the time anyway.
Oh, of course.
Or in Instagram Reels or whatever.
Or-
But
And even me, I'm working in retail, so
yeah, you're forced to listen to whatever they got.
their songs will come over the radio, and I'll just ignore them
It's terrible.
right.
I don't know why it's popular. Like, okay, I get it. You want to use some samples from some 80s tracks.
Right.
Maybe that's what's getting me. You want to use some samples from 80s tracks. You want to create similar music. I got it.
I was wondering when that would happen.
You know, I honestly get it. I understand it. But
Pay no attention to the kitten who's
yeah,
playing with chords.
I get it. I really do. But it's every single song.
Right.
Come up with an idea. Somebody come up with something original. But it is original. It's their own art.
Right.
No, it's not. Write a new hit. Write a new lick. Write a new hook. That's why other artists are so successful.
Right.
But you get a bunch of artists that are out there for like 3 years that are big, and then their one or two albums fade away into obscurity, and then, oh, well, why am
And
I not
then
popular anymore?
10 years later, people will
Because you forgot how to write.
well, yeah. And even now with YouTube, being the way it is right now.
Yeah.
And, you'll get these documentary videos of, hey, do you remember this artist from this time?
Yeah.
Here's where they are now.
Yeah.
So, it's
Yep.
you'll get that. My least favorite genre of music is the portion of like rock and roll, heavy metal, whatever you want to call it, where they're just sitting there screaming the entire time.
Oh, I feel that. Yeah.
I'm just like, okay,
It's like
okay, if you're just sitting there screaming to where I can't understand the words you're saying, I'm just gonna be like, nah, switch it.
it doesn't make sense.
I'm,
It doesn't make sense. I can't relate to it.
I can't relate to it. I'm not gonna disparage anybody who listens to it. I'm just like, not my style.
I can't do it.
Not surprising considering I grew up listening to Alan Jackson and George Strait.
Oh, you got some real. Okay, I'll give him the pass on the steel guitar.
Right.
I like Alan Jackson.
It worked. It worked.
It didn't work for the other dudes though.
Anyway, so
Sorry, I've got some allergy junk.
Yeah.
That keeps deciding to flare up and flare down as at will.
right. So, Nathan, why is music important?
Expression.
Expression.
I'm not a scientist. I'm not the most up-to-date researcher. Music has been proven to be the highest form of expression that humans can give
Okay.
because it's using every part of your body.
All right.
And when I was doing sound gigging at college for years, for about 5 years total, what I noticed is that a party wasn't a party until the sound guy showed up.
Right.
Sound guy, when the people are gathered and they're just talking, do whatever, they're bored out of their mind. All of a sudden, sound guy comes in, flips up Cupid Shuffle.
Right.
Whole room changes in an instant. Immediately, people get up, they start dancing. Maybe you throw on some lights and stuff. All of a sudden, boom, everything's cool.
Right.
It's the sound guys. Oh, goodness. Sorry. I think I got that one out, though. So, it's expression.
Right.
And it's not even just people enjoying music. It's people that are performing it, playing it, producing it. They have to use their mind. They've got to count. They've got to do a bunch of math to make the conversions, the time signature conversions and key signature conversions.
For some of them, by the way, they're doing this while people are, when they're doing this live
Mm-hmm.
and people are singing along to the lyrics, they're doing it. And I know bands like Queen and Freddie Mercury.
Yep.
Solo artists that sell out entire stadiums.
Oh yeah.
They actually plan for segments in certain songs. Some of their most famous songs. You can't tell me that Queen, during songs like "We Will Rock You," wasn't planning for the crowd to just start taking over and them not have to sing it off. Well,
but see, now you're hitting on something else that's important too. You get to do stuff communally with each other. You go to concerts. How many times is the concert? It's like 20-30% the audience singing. The song guys cut the mics, or the guy goes, "Hey, you sing it!"
Or
and then everyone does.
There are also songs where they make it a call and response of, "Hey, the concerts I've been to, somebody will get up, like the Home Free concerts. There was
the last one we went to.
Yeah, that's one we went to. Yeah,
there was a bunch of people.
There was a bunch of people, and I think at one point they said, "Hey, we're gonna sing this song. It's call and response," or no. Hey, we're gonna sing this song.
Yeah.
We're gonna have you be the backup. This section, this is what you're gonna be singing.
Oh yeah,
with Rob.
Yeah.
With Rob Lundquist. This section you're gonna be singing with Tim. This section you're gonna be singing with Austin. Which is the last time we saw Austin in concert, unfortunately. But
Rip Austin.
he's not
He's
dead.
not dead, but
He's not dead,
still rip.
but we miss him. This section you're gonna be singing this part, and
Yep.
so they did that, and then there was during like call and response, the band will be like, "Hey guys, you're gonna sing this part. We're gonna sing this part. We say this, you say that."
Yep.
So it's an amazing experience to be like, hey, we're gonna have the audience participate in this song. Like like a kitten screaming in the other bedroom. Anyway,
What? They could probably hear it actually.
yeah,
maybe.
you probably could.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Music's important.
yeah,
The bands get their thrill from that, from the audience interaction, and it just brings people together, man.
yeah,
It's you think you've got your own niche or that you're special or weird. In my case, I always think I'm weird whenever I listen to my music, and then I go to a concert and I'm like, oh, everybody else is just like me.
right.
It's really nice.
You're right. So,
But then I go back to being weird as soon as I come home and
Mm.
pop in the earbuds and air guitar to home free or pretend I'm like doing the drums from like some 80s band or something.
yeah, or sing like the white girl in the mirror to Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, I hear it.
I know. Hey, that's why I got semi-classically trained, depending on how you look at it. That's why I got part of my degree in music, so that it wasn't actually horrible all the time.
You're right. So, okay, so in general, that's why music is important. But biblically, why is music important?
Well, you've got a bunch of musicians in the Bible.
Right.
David was a musician. Asaph was a musician. All his buddies were musicians. They were all in the king's court. And
Solomon was a musician.
Solomon was as well. Didn't always use it for the best things, but first rock star, I think, is how you can look at that one, maybe.
Right.
But anyways,
Yeah.
music is all over the Bible. David was in his own courtyard dancing in his skivvies. I mean,
with all his might.
yeah, he was out there having a good time, and the Lord was he was delighted by it, right?
Right.
So,
And then he went home, his wife yelled at him, and he yelled back, and she never had a kid.
I forgot about that. The greatest roast of all time. It was like, you didn't like my dancing? Boom, you're barren. Like, whoa.
Boom.
Okay.
Hopeless like that pot of coffee.
Well, wait, what?
Hopeless like that pot of coffee.
Hopeless like that pot of coffee.
I don't know what made me think of that.
What
Think of that.
does that
Oh,
mean?
it means hopeless like that pot of burnt coffee that's been sitting there for 2
Oh.
hours.
Yeah, nobody
Yeah.
wants that burnt
No-
coffee.
Nobody wants that burnt coffee.
Nobody wants burnt coffee.
Yeah, when I was working at the at the kitchen, I didn't get there till lunchtime, and I'd walk in, and Joe's just like, "Hey, there's some coffee left over." I'm like, "Thanks, Joe. Probably not gonna drink it."
I was gonna say that coffee is like
4 hours.
rancid.
It's 4 hours old. I'll make a fresh pot.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'll just pour my own.
Anyway.
So, I think that's part of the reason why.
Yeah.
But there's countless verses of music being mentioned or dancing or whatever,
Right.
in heaven.
Right. And
You're telling me that I can get a degree in music and then go to heaven and then not have my heavenly, sound system just bumping up there.
right. And I'll be using the steel guitar.
No, that's hell. That they
You realize the Lord's gonna put our mansions right next to each other, and I'm just gonna be blasting the steel guitar the entire
and
time.
I'll be sending Cupid Shuffle right through your window.
I like the Cupid Shuffle. I just don't dance to it.
That's all you're gonna hear for all of eternity.
Probably not.
New Cupid.
Probably not.
I remember the earthly bangers.
Yep. But
Yeah.
and it's important to notice. You mentioned David dancing. It's important to notice to tell people especially new Christians, that dancing isn't a sin. You know, because
Right.
I grew up in a very legalistic church at the time. I haven't been there in years, so I don't know. I couldn't tell you what they're like now. So,
Right.
but I grew up and they're like, no, you stand straight, you sing, you sing the song, you don't move at all.
Right.
And I asked my parents about the song. The pastors were David Dance, and they were just like, well, too bad. We go to a church where you can't dance.
I'm too much of a rebel.
Yep. Anyway,
I'd be up there whipping the nay-nay.
that explains a lot.
That's why I'm a youth pastor.
That's probably why we couldn't dance.
Someone whipped it, and they were like, no.
We're done. Anyway,
Okay, yeah, that'd be fair.
yeah, but dancing,
My dance moves are,
well, yeah,
they're there, but they're lacking.
right. Got that cracker dancing energy.
I wasn't going to say it. Okay.
I got it too.
We just got canceled.
I got it too. Don't worry.
We just got deleted off the internet.
Can we get canceled for calling ourselves out?
You know, see, now here's the thing. You asked a question. Questions are great. They usually have answers. They can cause answers to formulate.
Is this your long-winded way of saying you don't have an answer?
Well, see, half of my college career we had Kamala as our vice president. So I just took one away from her. And if you talk enough so that you hear your voice enough, it makes you sound intelligent enough to make it sound like you said something that you actually didn't.
Right.
So basically what I'm saying is that the answers are great.
Yeah. Cool. All right. But yeah, that's what it is. Music is another form of praising the Lord and worshiping Him.
It doesn't matter what color of your skin you are.
Yes. The Lord says make a joyful noise. He didn't say that noise had to be good.
But please make it good if you're around us. Please.
Please.
I don't want to die.
He's a sound guy. The noise too bad. His head's gonna explode.
I will mute. I'll mute you. If your sound is bad, you will be muted. I've done that before.
Yes, I know.
Don't ask how many times I did it.
I was there one of the times you did it. Don't worry. I know.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah, I was there.
I just slowly moved the fader down. Well, the best is when people are like, "Can I have more of that in the house?" Or like, "I need more reverb," or "I need take this one out." And so like I'll do like the whole like fake moving. I'll
You're
flip
moving-
to like different pages.
You're
on the
moving a
digital
fader
board.
that's not even connected to anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Gotcha. How's that sound? Oh, that's perfect. Oh, thanks. I tested it once. Okay. Oh, I'm not connected to the school anymore, so I could say this. So there was one time a buddy of mine, I won't say who, Chris. If you're watching this
Hey, bud.
and you're finding out this way, I deeply apologize. So
He's not as sorry as you would think.
I'm really not, but well, maybe if we're finding out this way, maybe
For hurt feelings, yes. For
in the moment, I didn't care.
Right.
So I think this was like 3 or 4 years ago, and I was getting sound notes, and it was during rehearsal, and for whatever reason, we were having a particularly bad week with the band, and so there was an understanding that if the band was doing really bad and they kept working on it, and it just wasn't sounding good, that I would take some of the heat for whatever.
right.
So, at the end I was like, all right, yeah, I think it's just the mix. And yeah, it's a mix. Yeah, it'll be fine. I'll fix the settings. It's something buried that I can't find. Blah blah blah. It gave some random garbage answer, and so one day, there was like 2 or 3 weeks that this happened, and it wasn't the mix. I'm telling you now, it's not the mix. Somebody's guitar was off key, and they refused to tune it, and it sounded awful.
Oof.
And, you can bring it back as much as you want to, but when they're running through an amp on their own, you can't control it on stage. It's going to bleed through other mics. It's going to sound bad. You can't really do a whole lot about that. So before I get into the story, tune your freaking guitar.
Yes.
So
Tune any instrument that needs tuning.
tune everything. But please, if you're the lead guitar, tune it.
I have a story after, or I have a story after you're done with this. Yeah.
So what I did, I was told by a leader that was leading the group, dude, your mix is bad. Like, it's objectively bad. And I had kind of thrown in the towel at that point. I was like, whatever. I know it's the group, but okay, cool. So I tested it. I had a digital board. I saved the settings. All of them were the same. And I said, I'm not going to touch it for a week.
Right.
I'm going to see who noticed. So the next Monday we had chapel.
Right.
Flipped up my settings. Didn't touch them. Exactly the same. Made sure the speakers were at the same volume. Everything was all the same across the chain.
Right.
And people were like, oh, it's too loud. The mix was good, but it was too loud. Cute. Turn everything off, leave, come back. Wednesday morning.
Right.
We have rehearsal, and then we've got our praise band. Oh, that sounded great. Sounded phenomenal. Volume was perfect. Thanks for making the adjustments. It was great. I didn't change a thing.
All right.
Interesting. Friday rolls around. Rehearsal. Flip up the board, all the settings, everything. Now, granted, there was people in the room previously. Now it's an empty room. So
Right.
your SPL is what they call it. Your pressure is going to be a little bit higher. So I'll give you that. Your SPL is going to be higher. We get through the set. I didn't touch anything. People would ask for adjustment. I didn't touch nothing. Everyone thought I was working my wizardry magic back there.
Right.
Nathan, best mixed ever. Save that. Don't touch it. We're using that every single day.
Oh.
So you mean to tell me?
Nathan knows what he's doing.
Well, not that.
But, you know.
The application. I mean, yes, it was vindicating in the moment, but I was like, so you mean to tell me that it ain't the sound guys?
Not always.
Not always.
Sometimes.
Some of them.
Sometimes it is.
Okay,
So-
I'm sorry. Your story now.
My story. So, back in, well, really it was middle school, because after like 8th grade, I stopped doing band or orchestra or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But back in middle school, I was enrolled in band classes.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't play the trumpet because I couldn't play any of the other instruments because I couldn't get my lips in the right places to do the right things. So they were just like, here, have a pair of sticks and beat a drum.
Nice.
So the only problem with that was anytime we had a concert, everyone had to show up like between an hour, like at least an hour early. Probably mostly 2, because most of us that were in the band were also in the choir, so we had to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So we had to go tune our instrument, warm up, go tune our instruments, then go warm up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm there 2 hours early. All the drums are already in the in the auditorium. They're all already tuned for the space, right?
Right.
So, and my band director actually got mad at me for this after a while. Well, he wasn't really mad; he was just annoyed.
Uh-oh.
But so I didn't do anything like the first time it happened, but like by the third concert, or by like my third year, like my second year of doing it, like the first concert, I come in, and he's helping other kids tune their instruments, and I raise my hand. I'm like, hey, I think my sticks need to be tuned.
Really?
Yes,
You're that guy?
I was that guy.
See, you're the guy who would show up to like the band like 5 minutes late with the shirt that says, "Sorry, I'm late. I didn't want to come."
Probably. If we didn't have to, dress in suits.
I know somebody who did that once. They didn't care about the uniform. They just came on with the shirt.
Yep. Anyway,
He went out there with it too. I was
yeah.
impressed.
So, yeah, yeah, music is important to the Lord, else the Psalms wouldn't be in the Bible.
So, did you tune the sticks?
No, because they were made of wood.
Aw.
My dog did, though. He got a hold of them and chewed them up.
So, you're telling me that they could have been tuned,
Probably.
but you didn't do it.
Oh, they were toothed.
Fair. Okay, I'll give you that one. That
All
was a
right.
pretty good one, actually. Like
So-
they were toothed. All right, fair.
Yeah, so music is important. Okay, so let's move on to another area of music. Soundtrack music.
Okay. Like karaoke?
Not karaoke, like music for
Oh,
games and
yeah.
TV shows and movies. Karaoke music is way different. That's just I'm having fun with my friends.
Yeah.
So, Nathan,
Yeah.
what is your favorite?
Halo. Wait, we did discuss this.
We have discussed this before, yes.
Halo, man. All of them. They're all good. Not one of them is bad.
Even Infinite.
Even Infidence is good. Actually, I liked Infidence a lot more because it has some of the classier, the classical themes from the first game in it. And also my favorite song of all time happens to be from the Halo series, which is Unforgotten.
Right.
And the unreleased OST from Halo Infinite has a version of Unforgotten that's really, really good.
Give me 1 second.
Oh,
I hear things.
is the cat doing cat things? Oh, yeah.
He tore out of
Anyway,
there.
he knew. Anyways,
Yep. Keep going.
yeah.
I
I love Halo soundtrack.
Yep.
Marty O'Donnell and his team did awesome for the first, what was it, 5 games? Yeah, it was the original trilogy, Reach, and 3 ODST. And then Halo 4 was a different guy, and then Halo 5 was the same guy from Halo 4, and then Halo Infinite was a different team.
Right.
And I mean, they all hit it out of the park. They did a great job. I grew up with that game.
Yep.
Hate to see what they did with the franchise right now, but
Yep. So, speaking of soundtracks,
what's your favorite one?
what's my favorite one? Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah,
We've talked about this before. So, Nathan,
yes.
since we're talking about soundtrack, what's your least favorite movie? Like soundtrack could be from a movie, a TV show, a game.
Least.
Least. It could be a single song too. Just like I hate the way they did this song.
A lot of times it's like
Touching your elbow. I didn't mean to do that.
That's okay. A lot of times it's Madden.
Man, I get that.
It's my
It's-
least favorite because they don't put any effort in. It's not because of the song. Well, some of the songs, but it's not because of the songs that they pick.
Right.
If that makes sense.
All right. So, my least favorite, and this is gonna sound bad because I'm gonna lump a bunch of things together,
Do it.
but most of the Disney live action remakes, most of them, not all of them, not all of the songs. Again, it's not all the songs are bad,
okay.
but most of them are just bad remixes of
Yeah.
songs that they've did before. And the last episode we turned into Snow White, and
It's not just Snow White, though.
it's not just Snow White.
I agree with you,
The
actually.
music, it was just legitimately a worse version of the music from the original, and I think they added one new song
Yeah.
at least to the
It was, I
for the
think
40 minutes we watched.
Yeah.
But I'm
First
gonna
part.
tear into the live action Mulan a little bit.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any of it.
It's not worth it.
I haven't seen regular Mulan.
I know what we're doing at some point.
Okay.
We're watching the original Mulan. But
Cool.
the okay, so the live action Mulan wasn't just a bad movie. It wasn't like Snow White that it's just a bad movie and your star is ultimately and honestly just berating the original. They came
Fair.
out they live action Mulan. They came out and said we're doing a serious rendition of this story. Okay, fair.
Right.
But we've taken out all the songs. We've taken out all the funny characters. We're not gonna have we're gonna have very few comedic scenes in the movie. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Right.
But one of our other friends, hi Josh, if you're watching this,
Hi, Josh.
he was just like, oh, okay, hey guys, I have Disney Plus. My parents paid extra for the at the time it was the the COVID. That was the COVID year.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
they couldn't come out in theaters. So he said, "Hey, my parents paid extra for the, Disney Plus premiere package, whatever you want to call it,
Uh-huh.
that they had." Yeah, Mulan, the live action, and they put one of the songs from the original into the live action. Now, granted, it's just an instrumental version,
Mhm.
but I was just like, really. And that the name of the song was, I think it's "Who Is That Girl." For those of you who have watched the movie,
Sorry.
for those of you who have watched the movie, it's the song right after she was at the matchmaker's house. She failed to be a good match, and she was sitting there singing like, "Who am I? I don't know who I'm on." It's a super emotional song of where she's just like in the midst of this like swamp of self doubt and like, I want to show everybody who I really am, not what everybody sees me as.
Right.
And they use that as an instrumental, and this is gonna really upset me, because you as a sound guy could probably tear into it as just like bad sound design or whatever it is. But when I'm just like, you're using an emotional track from the original without any of the context.
Oh,
They just shoved it in.
Threw it in there.
They just threw it in there, and okay.
You
they-
can't do that.
There were some moments where I was just like, okay, that fits, I guess, but no.
Yeah. They get weird.
It just went to show, and again, for every one of those, there are songs I appreciate. Will Smith's rendition of "Friend Like Me,"
That was really good.
It was really good. I love his rendition of. Well, I'm actually giving glowing praise to Will Smith. His rendition of Prince Ali, I liked. I mean,
That was good.
it was a good
Yeah.
one. Overall, Will Smith did a good job with the character of the genie.
I think so too. Yeah,
and
I
he did
would
a good
agree
job
with
with
that.
the songs. So just know that
And he had to cover for some pretty big shoes.
right. Just know that not all the songs like I hate. Not all of them Disney live action remakes I hate, but most of the times I find their soundtracks just like, okay, this is just a worse version of the original.
I think I think what happens a lot is the companies try to re-encapsulate what made the original good. The problem was
Right.
is that the reason why they were good is because they were the original,
Right.
and so they're trying to like respice it, but you can't do a whole lot to it
Mm.
because you're gonna lose the charm. So it kind of just feels like a cheesy, like a
Mm.
cheesy play or musical.
Right.
And
And
the reason why I say cheesy is because going to a musical and watching all the actors do all their stuff,
right.
10 times more fun than watching a musical play on a TV screen.
Right.
Like,
And-
seriously, it's just different.
It is different.
It is.
Stage musicals are amazing.
I love stage musicals, yeah.
Anyway,
I haven't been to one in a while.
so now that we got the bad stuff out of the way, yeah. Now that we've got the complaining out of the way, I guess. So we've talked about our favorite soundtracks. You've talked about Halo. I mentioned Kingdom Hearts.
Uh-huh.
Nathan, what is one scene from? Okay, this doesn't have to be from exclusively Halo,
Yeah, yeah.
but what is one scene that stood out to you because of its music from any movie or anything?
You know the slap thing that you do? You might have to. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
So, the Bayverse,
Yeah.
Linkin Park,
Yeah.
the last.
I think that's just become such an iconic piece of
Like,
culture over the
What-
last few years.
yeah.
It's
Like
Th-
at the
there-
very end of the movie, the first movie, when Optimus is giving his speech, and you just hear the intro to what I've done in the background, and then all of a sudden it fades in, what I've done, and it's just like end credits. That was pretty cool.
okay. Did you know? I think I've sent this to you before, but I saw a reel one day where someone was at a Linkin Park concert and they were like, recording the band like everybody does.
Yeah.
And they were recording the Park, and Linkin Park was actually singing that song. They were singing "What I've Done,"
Nice.
and a few rows in front of the person who was recording, someone held up with a sign with it said "Directed by Michael Bay."
That's really funny. Directed by Michael Bay. He's
It
coming
was
back,
just
by the way.
Yeah, it was just the still of that directed by Michael
Did-
Bay from.
Did you hear?
Yes,
He's coming back.
Nathan. I heard. Nathan, you don't have to keep asking me the question
I
after I already said
You
yes.
did not say it. You didn't respond. You
Yes,
said-
I did.
No, you
just
didn't.
open your listening ears.
No, I'm a sound guy. I'm deaf.
That's no excuse. Open your listening ears.
I did. All I hear is tinnitus. Beep.
Well, that's your own fault.
That was my degree.
Yeah. And who chose that degree? Oh, right, you.
No, that would be the professors that said you're doing this now. They're like, you're doing this. Oh, okay, cool.
Anyway,
I went to college, or did sound for so long out of college, I accidentally got a degree, which is what happened. I accidentally got a degree out of it.
Okay.
Literally, that's how it went down. I accidentally got an interdisciplinary with music in it.
Cool.
I didn't go to any of the general recitals or anything. I think I went to 2 of them.
Yeah.
And music degrees are supposed to go to all of them. I didn't go to more than 2.
Right.
But
Oh,
I did
okay.
so much audio. They
Okay.
were just like,
The
here you go.
you did so much audio for some of those concerts that they probably counted towards your degree. They were just
Yeah.
like, "All right, you're fine."
I had a credit built up. I'll put it that way.
Not to mention the music department head loved you.
She does. I love her. She's amazing.
She is hilarious.
She's really nice.
She
So is
did.
her associate. They're very nice people.
Yeah,
They
she-
help me out a lot. And
she-
I helped them a lot too. So
Yeah, she did the like basic level music course that I had to take because everyone has to take a music course. At
how'd
some
that
point.
go?
So
This Korean Spitfire. Would be
Yes.
the description of the teacher. She would agree with that. Yeah.
So okay,
She's
so
really nice.
The name it was basically music. It was basically a music history class that we didn't go in depth on anything because it was like again it was like an intro level class. But we were just going over the periods of music history, and when we got to a little period called the Baroque era, I made so many puns, so many.
I'm in my Baroque period.
I think by like the fifth class, I raised my hand to do another, or like the fifth class we were in that period block, that block of lessons, like the fifth lesson, I raised my hand and she's like, "You, I know what you're doing. Stop."
Trying to derail the class.
She's like, "I know what you're doing. Put your hand down."
She loved you though.
She loved it. After class, she said, "Look, I find the puns hilarious. Not in class."
Oh man.
I left it alone after that because she's awesome though.
She's so nice.
She is so nice.
She's
but
so nice. She made me food when I was sick.
yep.
She helped me out
All
a
right.
lot. She was really nice.
So Nathan, you took mine because
What?
you took my thing that I was gonna say. It's just like Lincoln Park over
Really?
Peter
you
Cullen.
and I were thinking the same thing.
yeah Peter Cullen saying, "My name is Optimus Prime." It is just like, dang. But anyway,
I can't believe you and I were thinking the same thing.
yeah.
We really are brothers now. Holy crap.
So, okay. Another question. Another question. What is your favorite piece of soundtrack media besides Halo? Like, what's your favorite song?
Oh man.
That's not Halo because I think you already said it.
I did. My second favorite, I guess. Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
This is my father's world,
Yep. Oh,
or the Shire.
the Shire theme or
Yeah.
the Hobbit theme, whatever you want to call it.
I like that one a lot
Yeah.
because it's on that tin whistle.
Well, Lord of the Rings is like, they did really well with the soundtrack.
Yeah, they
Lord of the
did.
Rings.
They did well with everything. There's not one thing that it did wrong. Except for Viggo Mortensen accidentally punting a helmet and breaking his foot.
Yeah, that was a real helmet, by the way.
Yeah, that was not a fake.
So okay. Here's how the story goes. I'm about to reveal myself as a massive nerd
Do it. Wait, just now?
just now.
Yeah.
If y'all didn't know, if you're new to the channel,
Just in case you didn't figure it out.
welcome. We are massive nerds.
Yep.
So, okay, that scene was the intended scene. Viggo was supposed to kick the helmet. However, the prop guys done messed up.
Yeah.
Because Viggo was not supposed to kick a real helmet and break his toe. They were supposed to like do like I think it was like a foam recreation or something of it.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to kick that one. They didn't get it there in time, and he just kicked the real thing.
And it, like
So,
when it landed like that and it landed in front of the camera and
Right.
whatever, that was real.
that was real. And by the way, that cry was every time you watch the movie, it made it into the movie.
Yeah.
That cry, understand that's not. Well, yes, it works in context of the film of like a guy
That was a real scream.
of a man who's like, I've lost all hope of rescuing my friends. Nope, that's just a guy that broke his toes.
But the intensity.
The intensity is what needed.
Well, and most actors would keep it in anyway. It's like when Tom Cruise broke his foot for Mission Impossible.
Yep.
They kept it in.
Yep.
You could see it
And-
snap. Like it's like,
And,
oh,
by the way, another little factoid about Lord of the Rings. You've got me on this now. So all the scenes of the filming them, Viggo Mortensen, Orlando Bloom, and John Rhys Davies running, they all had injuries during that. I think that
yeah, that's right.
most of those scenes were filmed after Viggo broke his toes.
Yep.
One of them had like a bruised rib or something, and the other one had like a broken something else that they were just all like trucking through. Like, come on, we gotta go rescue these halflings. They're
Yep.
taking the hobbits to Isengard.
To Isengard.
So
You heard that song, right?
yes,
Okay, thank you.
that's why I was saying it, Nathan. This is an episode about music, after all.
Orlando Bloom. Too bad he's married to Katy Perry.
Oh,
Speaking of music,
yeah, no. So
baby, you're a firework.
So my favorite piece of soundtrack music is Dearly Beloved. Now, for those of you who haven't played Kingdom Hearts, or for those of you that have, Dearly Beloved is the song that plays over like the main menu when you first boot up the game. It's like a 4-note progression, and it's really amazing. My second favorite is Kratos' theme from the new God of War series.
Oh yeah, no, it is pretty good.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. Actually, I might play that because I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed lately, and I'm gonna take a break. Assassin's Creed 4, by the way,
Yep. Yeah, and before they went weird.
before they went. Well, yeah. Anyway,
No, yeah.
but
There was definitely a break.
there was definitely a shift where it was just like, okay,
No.
no, no.
Double no.
Mm,
Hate. Double hate. Loathe entirely.
By the way, I love that's my favorite version of that movie.
Yes, I agree.
We'll discuss that closer to Christmas, or we might just do a Christmas in July episode. I don't know.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Um,
Christmas. Dude, we're halfway there.
we are halfway there.
Whoa, living on a prayer.
Oh, that's
We need to end this.
that's actually the truth. That's actually kind of the truth. Anyway,
Yeah.
so stay tuned for more musically themed episodes from us in the future,
Yeah.
because this is not the last time we'll talk about music.
We told you to subscribe already.
Subscribe,
Do it.
like.
If you're not subscribed by now, you are a failure as an adult.
No, you're not, but he likes to believe that.
No, see, you have to make them feel terrible so that they subscribe. Subscribe, or you hate penguins.
Or penguins, as Benedict Cumberbatch.
This is true. Or hamsters. You hate hamsters. The invisible gerbil will die.
My sisters
This
had
one.
my sisters had gerbils as kids.
You see this gerbil right here, Zach?
They were both demons.
It's going to die.
I don't particularly care because I don't like gerbils.
The gerbil will die. I'm borrowing that line from Jimmy Kimmel.
Subscribe if you want to see the invisible gerbil live. Don't subscribe if you want.
This is
it,
actually like a PETA advertisement. Actually, it's not a PETA advertisement, but
we don't like PETA.
I'm a secondhand vegetarian. I eat the thing that eats the grass.
On that note,
I'm still waiting for it to.
we always time this badly.
I know. How
There
did
have
we?
been like 2 or 3 times that we've actually done it perfectly.
I think the last 2 times we had it right on. This
This is
we're
this is
off.
normal for us, guys.
Yeah.
I think this is just gonna be part of the podcast from now on.
What I've done. Okay, that's worth it.
See you guys later.
Bye.